what I'd like you to experience now is the mind-body connection, and how something imagined can cause a physical response as if something is really happening. So something imagined stimulates the same sensory connections as a real experience. So what I would like you to do now is just imagine for a moment, imagine that you're in your kitchen area. And you know what your kitchen area looks like. And perhaps you have a chopping board or somewhere that you could chop something on. And somewhere you store a sharp knife. And I want you to imagine you've got that sharp knife ready to cut something. And what you're going to cut is a nice juicy lemon. Now, I'm not sure where you'd store the lemon in your home, but perhaps it's in the fridge or in a fruit basket or something like that. But just imagine you went to that area that you would store some fruit and get that nice juicy lemon. And you place that juicy lemon on your chopping board or somewhere that you may be able to cut it. And you get your sharp knife out and you look at that lovely lemon in front of you before you cut in through the skin, knowing that all those juices are stored in there until you cut it with that sharp knife and those juices will begin to ooze out. Now what I'd like you to do is imagine that you're slicing slowly that lemon in half. And as the blade of that knife runs slowly through the lemon, you notice some juices gather on the blade as it moves back and forth. And perhaps some of the juices begin to run from the cut down towards the area where you're cutting that lemon. And you manage to slice all the way through that lemon and you turn one side up. And as you look at the segments within the lemon and some juices on the edge of the skin, and perhaps some is running down your fingers, you take that lemon and you put it under your nose. And just imagine you have that lemon in your hand and you put it under your nose. And as it's under your nose, you can really get a good sense of the smell of that lemon. And you will also be able to notice the colours in the segments of that lemon, where there might be white stringy pieces joining those segments together. And the skin on the inside of the skin is a little bit white as well, where there's a protective layer between the skin of the lemon and the actual lemon juices themselves. And as you sit there imagining that you have that lemon in your hand, perhaps you notice how some juices or saliva has gathered in your mouth. Now, why has this happened? You haven't physically had a lemon in your hand. You haven't physically smelt the lemon. You haven't physically seen a lemon. However, in your imagination, you've begun to trigger something off at a subconscious level, because anything imagined can be perceived as real in the mind. So now that you have experienced the power of your imagination over your body, and how something imagined can seem so real that you have a physical response, you're going to begin working on the body and mind together